Hello everyone, myself Bhushan Gholap. Once again, welcome to my channel. From last three videos, we have discussed about test planning and management concept in software testing and quality assurance. In these concepts, we have discussed objective of testing, principles of testings, activities in software testings, testing during development life cycle. Then we discuss about requirement traceability matrix, that is what is traceability matrix, types of traceability matrix, importance of traceability matrix, how to create requirement traceability matrix, all these things, and finally also we discuss advantage of requirement traceability matrix. In this video, we have to discuss about essential of software testings. Software testing is a discipline approach. It executes software work products and finds defects in it. The intention of software testing is to find all possible failures so that eventually these are eliminated and a good product is given to the customer. Software testing intends to find all possible defects and identify risks which final user may face in real life while using the software. It works on the principle that no software is defect free, but less risky software is better and more acceptable to users. The tester job in this case is very important. The tester job is to find out defects so that they will be eventually fixed by developers before the product goes to a customer. Software testing is also viewed as an exercise of doing a SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis. That is strength, weakness, opportunity and threats analysis of software products, where we can build the software on the basis of strength of the process of development and testing and overcome weakness in the process to maximum extent possible. There are 5 essential elements of software testing that's shown on this slide. First one is test strategy, second one is testing plan, third one is test cases, fourth one is test data, and fifth is test environment. We will discuss these essential elements of software testing one by one. First one is test strategy. A test strategy that tells us what types of testing and the amount of testing we think will work best at finding the defects that are present in the software. The purpose of testing is to find the defects, not to pass easy test. Okay, I again repeat. The purpose of testing is to find defects, not to pass easy test. A test strategy basically tells us which types of testing seem best to do, the order in which to perform them, the proposed sequence of execution, and the optimum amount of effort to put into each test objective to make our testing most effective. A test strategy is based on the priorities, requirements, and any other available information about what is important to the customer, because we will always face time and resources constraints. Test strategy faces up to this reality and it tells us how to make the best use of whatever resources we do have to locate most of the worst defects. Without a test strategy, we are in a danger of wasting our time on less fruitful testing and misusing some of our most powerful testing options. So this is all about test strategy. So test strategy basically tell us what types of testing and the amount of testing we think will work best at the finding the defects. And most importantly, test strategy main purpose is or testing main purpose is to find the defect, not just to pass the easy test. Okay. Second essential elements of software testing is testing plan. A testing plan of the actual testing task we will need to execute to carry out that strategy. A testing plan is simply that part of our project plan that deals with the testing task. Testing plan details who will do which task, starting when, ending when, taking how much effort, and depending on which other task. It also provides a complete list of all the things that need to be done for testing, including all the preparation work during all of the phases before testing. All of the phases before testing in the sense requirement phase, design phase, coding phase, that is development phase, these phases before testing. Testing plan shows the dependency among the tasks to clearly create a critical path without surprises. We will be able to start filling in the details of our testing plan as soon as our test strategy is completed. So after finalize the test strategy, then testing plan is designed or will be designed. So both our test strategy and testing plan are subject to change as the project evolves. Modify our strategy first if you need to, and then testing plan. So this is second essential element of software testing, that is testing plan. Third essential elements of software testing is test cases. Test cases that have been prepared in advance in the form of detailed examples we will use to check that the software will actually meet its requirement. Our test cases are prepared based on the strategy which tells us how much of each type of testing to do. Test cases are developed based on the priorities, requirements, and acceptance criteria for the software. Keeping in mind the customer emphasis on quality dimension and the project latest risk assessment of what could go wrong. There are many different approaches to developing the test cases. Test case development is an activity performed in parallel or simultaneously with software development. It is just as difficult to do a good job of coming up with the test cases as it is to program the system itself. A good test case check to make sure requirements are being met and has a good chance of uncovering defects. So this is all about test cases. So test cases have been prepared in advance according to the test strategy and test plan. Next essential elements of software testing is test data. Test data is the data that is used in test of a software system. In order to test a software application, we need to enter some data for testing most of the features. In addition to the steps to perform to execute our test cases, we also need to systematically come up with test data to use. This often equals sets of names, addresses, product orders, or whatever other information the system uses. Since we are probably going to test query function, change function and delete functions, we will most likely need a starting database of data in addition to the example to input. So test data development is usually done simultaneously with test case development. So test case development and test data, it is a simultaneous activity. Next and last one essential element of software testing is test environment. An ideal place and the right equipment are required to carry out the testing in an effective manner. Unless the software that is being tested is very simple, a number of computers will be required. All components of the actual system on which the software application will eventually execute or run on must be present. Test environments are usually the scaled down version of the actual system and therefore must contain all components that is required for testing the software. So building a test environment can be quite challenging as a different region on the mainframe, computer or server. And networks have to be set aside which have to be completely dedicated to the testing efforts, and they must be capable of being retested to the initial setting so that the testing can be carried out as often as needed. So setting up a testing environment comes under testing plan and therefore has to be completed before the testing begins. So this is all about test environment, and this is essential elements of software testing. Hope you understand all these elements very well. So this video lecture we conclude here. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.